The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com. That's KUTT.com, cut.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, NHL, and college basketball and more. Sign up today using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool and enter Champs free bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. And we're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. And this, oh man, some say the day would never come. Said that it would never be here. To those, I say screw you. We're having a great day because we are T-minus 27 minutes until North Carolina goes live for legalized sports betting, and I say cheers. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast to see me take a sip of a mimosa as I celebrate. Oh man, I mean, Anthony's asking in the chat, what are the NC promos looking like for existing users? I seen something that said that they have, what is it for the Hornets game? Yeah, so it's a super boost for the Hornets game. Max wager $50 if the Hornets and Pistons combine for 1+ point in the game. You can win that max bet of $50, which is, I think it's 100-1 odds on hitting that bet. Well, it's the Hornets and the Pistons, so we're not guaranteed to get 1 point in the game. But we got Munaf the Machine Manji here. We got guests coming on. They'll be stopping by over the course of the stream. Just say what's up, give out a bet, all of that. Munaf, what's going on? Happy celebration day.
Of course, man. Happy for you. Legalized sports betting. You said that the day would never be there for you. It's here. I think I can probably say that being down here in Texas will probably be one of the last states of legalized sports betting. But no, it's a great day, right? You mentioned it, like legalized sports betting launches in what, about 25 minutes in your state. So now you can go to the window or you can use the apps. And I'm old school. I like going into the sports book, putting my money down, getting that physical ticket, getting that feel of it. But yeah, like you mentioned, it's gonna be a fun show. We got a couple of guests popping in and out.
So you're old. Is that what you're saying?
I'm old
You're
school.
old.
No, I'm old.
I have to go to the sports book and put a physical ticket in. I have the ticket in my hand. We don't do that anymore.
It's just
all
a different
right here.
experience.
It's
a
all
different
right
experience.
Here. No, I do love going to the sports book and getting physical tickets though. Like that's another great feeling, especially cashing a physical ticket. Like and getting the piles of cash from the teller. And what was it? We was in Vegas when you cashed at the window, and you thought you was in trouble.
It was at
the Mirage.
The Mirage where we were staying, and that was one of the parlays that we hit. And I guess I get a quick story here. So go to the window to cash it. It was early in the morning. I think we were leaving to cash to cash the ticket. And it was like what, $100 or $200 to win like two I think it was like 22 or 2,500. But long story short, the manager comes from the back. I guess has to get approval or something. I don't know why it was at that amount, but the manager takes the ticket. She walks all the way across to the end of the their little kiosk behind the desk. She's writing something down on the back of the paper or the back of the ticket. She comes back, they count me the cash. She hands me something in, and I look on the back. She said, "Oh, here's a comp for a couple nights here to stay, come back at the Mirage." So that pretty much was probably telling
They
me
wanted him back.
they
That
wanted them,
boy, hey,
they wanted their
that
money
boy
back is
what
what it was.
he hit a parlay and they said, "Come back, please come back, because you are not going to do this all the time." Little do they know, we hit parlays every time we're in Vegas together.
Yeah,
Oh
so
man,
that was a fun trip.
oh, I mean, we're already cashing bets. I didn't even have to do anything yet, and I'm already have $100 free bet. We have to figure out where to spend it. We have to figure out where to spend it
Oh yeah.
in all of this. Like, it's just so much launch info that we're having a great day. I can't wait. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to bet. I'm ready to hit some winners. Oh, North Carolina to win the NCAA tournament. The Dukies, they swept the Dukies. Ooh, wait, hey, burying the lead here. Well, not burying the lead. That's the wrong phrase. What's the phrase where I'm foreshadowing my TCE appearance tonight for the launch of sports betting in North Carolina. I will be on TCE tonight with NC Nick, with Kobe, with Moneyline Mac, and there will be heavy pro North Carolina talk on that show. Heavy pro North Carolina talk on that show. Because NC Nick had a lot to say last year when the Dukies swept North Carolina. He had a lot to say. Oh, and he said that we couldn't do it this year. Just like they said that we wouldn't get sports betting in North Carolina. Munaf, we're here.
Dukies are having a rough year.
They're the Dukies. That's not foreign to them. They have rough years. Even in their good years, they're still rough years. Remember when they lost to Mercer?
Yeah.
CJ, Lehigh? In their good years, they have rough years. It's the Dukies. All right.
So here's my question to you before we actually get into the stuff. So do you guys have like brick and mortar like stores you can go into and bet in tickets, or is it just all app based right now?
So there's different places all over North Carolina. I think so. Greensboro, there is an Underdog Sports opening up at the Seafield Country Club. That's the place where they have the Wyndham Championship every year.
Yeah.
So Underdog Sports has a book setting up in there. It's a book in the Hornet Stadium. It's a book in the Carolina Hurricanes Stadium. I think it's a book in the Panther Stadium as well. I think it's a book over there by the NASCAR track in Charlotte as well. So it's like places all over. Then we got the casino that's a little bit outside of Charlotte. So it's a bunch of places where if you wanted to go put actual physical bets in, you could. But
there you go.
A couple of those spots been open already, but now everything online, other places are opening up. It's great, man. It's great.
There you go.
All right. Before we get to the slate that's actually being talked about today, gotta talk to you about Merch Madness. 15% off everything in the merch store. Promo code Madness. Make sure you go in there. You get some of that Talk About My Third Leg shirts. And hey, I mean, this isn't the TCE show, but I'm still a part of it. But we still got the first half unders. Like, we still have first half unders that we can bet here. So make sure that you are talking about them and you're getting that shirt in the merch store. 15% off everything. Promo code Madness from now until the tournament tips off. That is store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code Madness, 15% off. We're also brought to you by Cut, the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Peer-to-peer social betting is a new way to bet where you can go and you can bet on a whole bunch of different stuff. Sports, politics, pop culture. Hey, man, the Oscars was last night. First of all, super confused on why I get on my timeline and John Cena is naked on my timeline. Very, very confused on why that was happening. But the Oscars was last night. You could have bet on the Oscars if you was on Cut. You missed the opportunity. Don't miss the next one. Download Cut today. Go to kutt.com, cut.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. That's Cut, kutt.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. You can get in on the higher or lower stat for your favorite players. You pick between 2 to 5 players, and you can win up to 100x your money because they have those pick'em scorchers. you know, I love to dabble in pick'em scorchers, and we've been really, really close on hitting a few of them. Y'all actually, you and Scott hit one last week, so we do really well with the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em contest. We give out three pick contests that pay out six times the money you put in. So make sure that you absolutely positively lock in on Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Actually, no, use our promo code NBA SGPN. NBA SGPN is the promo code. Double your first deposit up to $100. Must be 18 plus or older and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right, Munaf. I mean, we're about to start talking about the games. Let's just go ahead and get the first guest up here. And hey, y'all seen him on the Propcast with Munaf. You ain't seen him up here with me. So let's go ahead and lock it in. We got Chris B. Cap in here. Chris, what's going on, my guy? It's been a minute.
What's up, Terrell? What's up, Munaf, man? Good to see you guys, man. Happy Monday.
Hey, man.
What's going
happy
on,
Monday.
Chris?
Happy NC launch day. I'll take one. I'm taking a drink for everybody. I take 2 drinks because Munaf doesn't drink, but Chris is here too. So now I got to make it 3.
Chris is at work right now, so you know he can't be drinking on the job. But yeah, man,
I'm drinking on the job. What you mean?
Oh yeah, you're
I'm drinking on the job.
Too.
What?
You
You
working?
y'all got something against people that drink on the job?
Yeah, we're the D-Gen life here at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. But yeah, catch me and Chris on the podcast. But yeah, first time he's on the NBA pod here as well. But Chris, you're already in a state where you already have legalized betting, right?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, so I'm the only loser.
Get all the books. Get all the
hey,
books.
man,
man.
what's some advice? What's some advice so I don't go in the hole, man? I need some advice.
Some advice for what? Like advice for like
being in a legalized state. Yeah, being in a legalized state. So I don't go in the hole and be trying to chase every single bet at any hour of the night because I don't have to worry about hitting up my parlay dealer.
So that's just it comes with the discipline, being able to bet, your official plays versus your leans. And I run into that all the time, man, where I'm like, do I make 5 plays and I spread it out and put, half a unit on each? So I'm only going 2.5 units into my bankroll, or do I play 5? Right. And then if I really, really love something, I'll make this an official play, but I'll, keep the other things that I'm kind of thinking, but I'm not as confident in. I'll make those, I'll make those leans, and then I track my leans and I track my official plays as well. But you gotta be disciplined, because like you said, sir, you can having all these different options, man. I mean, you could be betting, up betting Chinese soccer at 2:45 a.m. So yeah, you gotta be able to do that. The other thing I say, Terrell,
I remember them COVID days. We was betting Korean baseball.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Dinos. Shout out to the NC Dinos.
Be betting on the Dwight Howard team over there in Thailand. But the other thing I say, Terrell, is download all the books, man. You want to be able to beat the lines as much, as frequently as you possibly can. So that's the biggest one I think, man. Just, it's kind of like, I always compare it to like shopping. Like, you go in the grocery store, why pay $5.99 for this bag of chips when you can get it, at the other grocery store up the street for, the digital grocery store at that, right? It's not even like a place you got to walk to. You just got to click open a different app. So always shop around, because if you're saving 10 cents here, 15 cents there on the dollar, it's just always going to be more profitable. So if you live in a state that has 15 sports books, you should have all 15 of them. And I do. Yep. I got them on my phone, and I keep all my money in a PayPal account, and I'll just pull from that PayPal account to deposit into the sports books that that I want to place the desired bet on after I find the best line. So line shopping is super important for for the people as well, especially if you're just getting started.
Hey, man, shouts out to Chris for the wise words, people. We're trying to put you on here. We got a whole new state of listeners that are going to be tapping into this show. Casey's in the chat giving out some advice to be a money maker. Don't parlay everything. Never bet more than 10% of your account. Eric's out there telling people you can make mistakes. Go slow in the apps. Hey, go slow. I'm not going slow on this mimosa, I'll tell you that, because I'm about to pour me another one. We celebrating over here. We having a great day. Alcohol and betting. This is a really good Monday. This is how the week should start. Every single week should start with alcohol and betting. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I sound like a little bit of a fiend. All right, let's get to the games that are actually being played today. Chris, I'm gonna need your help with this one because it's a rough one. Charlotte Hornets on the road going to play the Detroit Pistons. Pistons open up -4 lines or -4.5 right now. 217.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams and for the Charlotte Hornets. Trey Mann doubtful going in today. No Bryce McGowan today. You already know no LaMelo Ball, no Mark Williams, Cody Martin, Seth Curry. For the Detroit Pistons, Ausar Thompson is not on the injury report expected to play today, and Quentin Grimes is probable with injury management. He should be playing today as well. Probably why Trey Mann being out, Asar and being in, probably why you're getting that half a point line movement here. But I'm gonna let the guests go first. Chris, what do you like here looking at this game? Well, before we do that, very important drop that we have to play. 100% toilet bowl game. 100% a toilet bowl game. However, I'm still sitting on my Wizards' fewest wins for the season bet and got 2 wins over the weekend. 2 straight. When's the last time the Wizards had a 2-game win streak? I need Detroit. Is Detroit coming through for me today, Chris?
I think so. I would think so. I think, looking at these two teams, like you said, toilet bowl game, man. And I probably could make a case for both, but I'll tell you guys this: the reason why I'm not betting Charlotte, they have been the better defensive team by far. Like, it's not even close after the All-Star break. But Detroit has been the better offensive team, and you also got to think about, or at least when I'm thinking about this game, I'm thinking about the situational spot as well. It's a third game in 4 nights for these Detroit Pistons, for the Charlotte Hornets. They played on Friday and Saturday, and they got a win. They got smoked in DC on Friday night. They came back home one day later and beat Brooklyn as a dog, and now you catch them on the road. The other thing to think about in this game is that, Detroit, we know that they haven't been good. They not good at all on the season. This team, second fewest wins on the season. It might be fewest wins now, but Washington winning 2 games as of late. 5-26 at home, and just 15-16 against the spread. They are just 1-4 straight up and against the spread as a favorite this season, with all 5 of those games going to the under. But you know what? The one thing Detroit can't say is they have a season sweep over anybody. But they could potentially get one here. They've already beat this Charlotte team. Charlotte's already beat this Detroit team. I'm sorry, let me say that. I'm saying it backwards. Detroit has already beat Charlotte twice this season. So they could go up 3-0, and maybe they feel like they kind of own them. There are some matchup advantages here. Charlotte has a major matchup advantage of being able to get to the rim, but I think Detroit also can get to the rim on the opposite side. So it's really going to come down to, is Charlotte defense going to be locked in? Will those tired legs start to kick in a little bit, especially with them? You guys mentioned them having some people in the injury report. So if I had to play it, man, it's ugly, it's gross. I would be probably I probably would lay the points with Detroit, but I think the under is more in play because I've seen Charlotte play super slow. I see Detroit struggle to score at times. Both of these teams turn the ball over a lot as well. So I think, looking towards the under, I think is the better play. It opened at 218.5 and it's down to 217 now.
Okay. Munaf, what you like here? Are you on the same way? Is Detroit going to do me some justice and give me this Wizards 3-1? 3-1 is where I got that fewest wins bet.
So to answer your question, when's the last time the Wizards won 2 in a row? Back on January 27th and 29th, they beat the Spurs and they beat the Pistons. So 2 of the current teams that they beat. Man. But I think I'm with Chris here, man. I think that the Pistons at home, despite them, like you mentioned, that they've been favored in 5 games at home, they are 1-4 against the spread in those spots here. But for whatever reason, if either you want to call me a psychopath or just an NBA junkie, I've actually kind of watched some of these Charlotte Hornets games, and like you mentioned, that they just struggle scoring the ball, right? It's pretty much Miles Bridges, it's Brandon Miller, and after that, it's just a toss-up on who you're going to get to score the basketball for you. But then you take a look at this Detroit Pistons team, right? I mean, they're relatively healthy, right? Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren's having a really good season here as well. So I think there's a good spot here for the Pistons at home. Well, they were competitive in that game against the Dallas Mavericks in their last game, at least to the Detroit Pistons standards. But and then I think the Mavericks are pulled away late. But I'll lay it here with the Pistons here, man. -3.5, -4 is the number right now. Just they're in the midst of a homestand here, so I think there's an opportunity for them to pick up a victory here. Like Chris said, they are the team with the least amount of wins right now at 10. The Wizards are at 11. So, yeah, give me the Pistons -4 here.
All right. I got to take the Pistons. I feel like this is a opportunity for me to green up here. There's a lot of people out there that be like, hey, man, you could take the other side. You could possibly try to hedge. Like, hey, man, no, I think the Pistons are better than the Wizards. I'm telling you. I think the Pistons are better than the Wizards. I think they're going to finish with a better record. They're going to get one of their extra wins today. It's going to help me out. I'm taking the Pistons. I'm laying a 4.5 here with them, even though I do really like this Charlotte team. But the injuries, man, now they're dealing with the injuries again. And that's when Charlotte starts to be bad. They were doing really good right after the the trade deadline, when they got the whole new team, literally a whole new team in. Then they started rolling a little bit. Then the injuries started coming through. Seth Curry went out. They start to pile up. No Trey Man. Now they starting to look like that bad team that they were at the beginning of the year. So I think this is an opportunity for Detroit to go out there and get a win. I'll lay the 4.5 with Detroit. My boy, quiet romance Ray, romance Ray. He out here. He said he's on the Pistons first quarter. I like that play. Tomorrow's hilarious. All right. Under plays towards the under, I hear. Player props. Munaf, anything you like player prop wise here?
Yeah, I think Jalen Duren in this game. Usually we always look at opposing centers against the Charlotte Hornets. He's had relatively good success against the Charlotte Hornets in his career. I'm pulling up the numbers right now, but I mean, take a look. It's been, I think, 5 matchups for Jalen Duren against. 5 matchups against the Charlotte Hornets in his career. He's averaging 13.2 rebounds. You take a look at the 2 matchups this season. He had a game where he had 17 rebounds and then 8 rebounds. But last season, 19 rebounds, 13 rebounds, 9 rebounds. So I think he's in line to have a good rebounding night here. That number I saw at 11.5. I like the over on that. I think that he can definitely get 12 plus rebounds here. Miles Bridges, probably another one if you want to look at. I know he had a really good game in his last game against, I believe it was the Wizards. For the Charlotte Hornets, if you want to look at him, he had 24 points in the last game against Brooklyn, 32 against the Washington Wizards. So he was a little bit of a slump. When the shot volume is going to be there for a guy like Miles Bridges, him and Brandon Miller, like we mentioned when we were talking about the game. But he did have a double-double earlier this season against the Pistons. If you want to look at his double-double, he had 20 points and 10 rebounds in that game. So those are the 2 guys I was looking at in this game between the Pistons and the Hornets.
Yes, sir. All right. I love it. And, hey, Ron, I see you in the chat. Ron, go get your stuff. Get ready to come on. I'm about to have Ron come on. Ron's going to give us a play. I know he got one, and I know he can hear me. So go ahead, start getting everything ready. Start, if you got your bonnet on, take your bonnet off. Get everything ready to go, because I'm calling up on you after we get our next guest on. Chris, any other player props here? Really, honestly, any other plays that you targeting for today? Like, before we get you up out of here, because we know you at work. Not finna have you get fired on your day. Well, you at work, so it wouldn't be a day off. But what other plays do you like today? Any player props you like for this? Anything else you want to plug?
So I think I lean with what Munaf said. Looking at Charlotte, man, we talk about them being like really, really bad. But one thing Charlotte has been doing since the All-Star break is they really ran teams off the 3-point line. I was looking into this. We talk about their defense being good. It's literally their 3-point defense. Charlotte is they're actually second in 3-point accuracy. So they're holding teams to 31.9% from the 3-point line. Even though teams are shooting the second most threes against them, teams are shooting 40% of their shots against this team post All-Star break. They're number 1 in all 3 frequency and non-corner threes, so above the break. Number 5 in corner threes as well. So to me, that kind of lends to like what Munaf was saying. You got to get it at the rim. They're 22nd in rim accuracy, so they're allowing teams to shoot about 67% at the rim. That leads to Jaden Ivey, and it leads to Duren. So looking at those 2 guys, in my opinion, I think is the way to go in this one. As far as play, like if I was going to give out one more play real quick, it would be I would be looking at like favorite player prop of the day is Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen threes. Number is 2.5. Tad bit juiced. I see it at -122, but I expect this to move. Like I think this gonna close like around -140, especially with it being so early in the day. Dude's been chucking. He's been chucking corner threes, right corner threes, above the break threes, and he's shooting 47% from the above the break three after the All-Star break. Letting them go, shooting 5 a game. And I look at Cleveland. I don't know if y'all had a chance to watch them play yesterday against Brooklyn. They're shorthanded right now. They didn't have Strus. They didn't have Donovan Mitchell. Also, what's his name? Dean Wade was out for personal reasons. So you get real thin, and they already not the greatest 3-point defense. I looked at them defensively in Cleveland, and this is why Brooklyn beat them yesterday, because Brooklyn got hot from 3. They hit 18 threes yesterday. What's Grayson Allen out there to do? Only catch and shoot threes. Now you get Devin Booker back, so it's going to be a lot of ball rotation, ball movement there. Cleveland defensively against the 3 after the All-Star break, 26. So they're the 4th worst defense, allowing teams to shoot 39% from the 3-point line. Above the break 3, they're 26 there, allowing teams to shoot 39%. Corner 3, they're about middle of the pack, still allowing teams to shoot 40%. And what does Phoenix want to do? That's what they want to do. They're the top half of the league in non-corner threes, shooting a bunch of them. Also, the other thing I like about this matchup specifically is that Phoenix has been mid-ranging people to death, right? A lot of Devin Booker, a lot of Kevin Durant. 7th in frequency, 6th in accuracy, but that's where Cleveland actually they actually play pretty well. They're allowing teams, holding teams to the 8th worst percentage at mid-range shots. So I think this is where Phoenix has the advantage here. So give me Grayson Allen over his 2.5 threes. He's coming off a game where he shot 0 for 4, so I like it even more. But before that, 8 for 14 against Toronto, 8 for 12 against Denver, and we couldn't expect them to hit, but that meant so many against Boston. Boston has been one of the better 3-point defenses. So give me Grayson Allen, favorite player prop of the day, man, over the 2.5 threes. Probably going ladder. I think it's a potential ladder spot here for Mr. Allen in Cleveland, and not Jared. We talking about.
Hey man, we are very pro Afro man around here. It's always a good day to ladder pro Afro man. We are always a good day to ladder Afro man. Always, always, always. All right. Hey, Chris, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for dropping by, giving us some plays. I already have the Grayson Allen over 2.5 threes bet. I have it. Is it? No, I can't bet it right now. No, it's not. Yeah. So I have it teed up, ready to go. I'm hitting sand. So I'm hitting sand. Soon as 12 hit. Look, matter of fact, where's the T-minus less than 1 minute. Less than 1 minute till we go live. Hopefully it ain't no mistakes or no errors on their part. I could bet as soon as 12 hits. But Chris, appreciate you. Anything else you want to plug before you get up out of here?
Nah, man, that's it, man. Appreciate you guys for having me. Y'all definitely make sure y'all, not just this time, but y'all check out the podcast, man. It's a bunch of guys over here on the network doing their homework. Leave us a review, man. I always say 5-star review, wherever you're listening to your podcast is at. And best of luck, man. Always bet responsibly as well. I'll catch you guys later, man. I'm out. Appreciate y'all for having me on.
Thanks, man.
All right, appreciate you. All right, man. It's live. It's 12. It's time. It's here. And we take our drink for the first legalized sports betting to go on in North Carolina. Oh, it's great. And I got a guest ready for you, too. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and get paid real quick. Got to talk to you about AG1. Look, my digestive system is not the best. You can see I'm over here drinking mimosas this early in the morning, and it's like some weird blueberry mango mix going on here. Pretty good, not gonna lie, pretty good. But it's not the best for my digestive tract. I'm not always, this up and bubbly because sports betting is now live in North Carolina. Sometimes I feel sluggish. Sometimes my immune system isn't right, and I'm getting sick a lot. And there's always that one thing that can always make me better, and that is AG1. Not only did I replace my multivitamin or all that other stuff that I was trying with AG1, but I love every scoop that it has. It has a bunch of vitamin C and zinc to support my immune health and make sure that I am staying really safe in the time of the world where people be getting sick all the time. I don't play with that. I don't play like that. I like to stay safe. So make sure that you get AG1 and recommend it to your family and friends, because you could have a whole bunch of people They have a team of doctors and scientists. It's tested for over 950 contaminants. Like there's all of this pro stuff towards AG1. You feel more energetic. Like I said, it helps your immune health, your gut health. You feel your stress feels manageable. All of that with AG1. Make sure you use AG1 and tap in. And of course, you know, if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs when you first subscribe. Go to drinkag1.com/SGPN. That's drinkag1.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by Champs. Champs is hosting a free March Madness bracket contest with a chance to win $1,000. Plus, you can host your own March Madness pool on Champs. You'll get a free entry into that contest. So not only do you get your contest entry already, but you get an additional free entry just for hosting your bracket pool on Champs. So make sure you do that. Tiebreakers are determined by who enters first. So make sure you register today. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. Oh, and I can't wait for this. I'm so glad she agreed to come on because Trista's about to come up here and drop some gems. And I'm trying to tell you, we have a whole bunch of fun where you can catch her on BetMGM tonight over there at BetQL. Make sure you tap into her show. Trista, TK, what's going on?
Congratulations for being legal. You guys aren't riding dirty anymore on
Thank
some
you.
random domestic. So congrats on that. I see you doing your thing. I also am a proud subscriber of AG1. So I know all about the free 5 travel packs.
Love
I know
it. See, look, that wasn't scripted. Hey, just so y'all know, that wasn't scripted. I didn't tell her to come on there and say that.
He did not. He did not. You can put it in smoothies too. The thing that I do in the summer is I'll just pour that in a smoothie. And then you can
that's
just
how I do
add
it too.
that. Yeah, it's way easier that way.
Yeah, and it tastes great. Like it's not even like normally I look at stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's nasty. No, it actually tastes really, really good. People should really tap into it. All right. I mean, I need some winners. I need some winners here.
You down bad?
I need winners. Oh no, I'm not down bad. I ain't gonna say I'm down bad. Nah,
so you don't need
but I still
winners.
need winners.
You don't.
I still need. I always need them. I always need them. Like,
well,
you know, people are talking. It's a lot going on recently about how sports is rigged, and they're talking about Temple and how they rigged the game with UAB and how the line moved. Honestly, truly, I don't care if it's rigged. Just tell me the right side, so I'm not on the opposite side. As long as I'm on the right side, you can rig sports all you want. I don't care about the integrity of the game, all of that. Just tell me the right side so I can win. I need winners.
When you saw that line move, that Temple line, UAB went from 1.5 to 8.5, and they won by 30. Like that's how you knew.
I was gonna bet UAB. That's the crazy thing. I was gonna bet UAB, and I saw the line move, and I'm like, no, there's no way I'm getting in now. Should have did it.
Yeah, the CLV is gone. Really real.
Oh man! All right. Trista, what game would you like to talk about today? We only have a small amount of your time. Spurs Warriors.
Let's do it. I think that's that's one of the most interesting games on the board, right? Because you look at the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to make work of the Raptors. The Raptors are just kind of feeling it. Like they don't have the ability to score. Nuggets are starting to blow teams out that are bad. I don't want to talk about my Blazers at the crib to the Celtics. Bulls and Mavericks. Bulls are actually pretty pesky. One of the more like crunch time, like positive teams in the NBA. Suns Cavs just doesn't excite me. Hornets Pistons will never excite me. But it's the Spurs playing the Warriors at the crib when they just beat the Warriors in Golden State with no Wemby, no Devin Vassell.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. So I thought to myself, you see the Spurs plus 4.5 at the crib. Wemby is playing. Vassell is playing. So why is that line so much? Like, they're still dogs. They've got both of their guys out there. No Steph Curry. I still think I like the Spurs, though. I still like it. It's a suspect line. I think the Spurs were like 10-point dogs at Golden State. So I like Spurs plus 4.5. Like I said, I think Wemby's going to be on a mission. You look at what he's been doing against like those high caliber opponents. He really wants to show that he's he's that guy, right? And he actually has a good case for Defensive Player of the Year. I know he's second right now, and Rudy Gobert seems to be a runaway, but like when your block number is 4.5, and it's 7-3 against the spread at over 4.5 blocks. Like that's a guy that I want to back. So I like Wemby's blocks. I like Spurs plus 4.5. He's the best blocker that we've seen since probably Will. Like he's a rookie getting 10 blocks, 7 blocks in a game. 7 his last time out. He was out last game due to injury, so I think he's going to be fresh. Don't think he's going to be on a crazy minutes restriction or anything. He's been kind of on a minutes restriction all year. So I like those 3. Those are my favorite. I thought about Jonathan Kuminga, but with Wemby coming back, Jonathan Kuminga had 25 last time they played. His number's 21.5. I think we're kind of getting a little crazy. Wouldn't be surprised if he hit it, but I think I'm going to stay away on that. But that's a slight lean.
I'm with you on that Wemby blocks play. I feel like they're not gonna be afraid to challenge him. Like they're gonna want to go and attack the inside. They were doing it the game prior, and it didn't work. But they ended up still losing the game. But I think that's still more opportunity, and it's a little bit of gamemanship. Like, hey, I see you doing all of this to everybody in the league. Try doing it with us. Like, try it with us. And so I think they're looking forward to the matchup. Munaf. We got 4.5 here with the San Antonio Spurs. She already said Wemby should be playing today. Devin Vassell should be playing today. What do you like here?
Yeah, I know these like Trish mentioned, they just matched up. What was it, Saturday night? I think that game got away from the Warriors. It's hard to gauge this Warriors team without Steph Curry, right? I mean, you still have the horses on this team with Moses Moody starting lineup. Well, Chris Paul actually got the start for the Warriors in that game without Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, we've talked about him a lot. He's just not the guy that we are used to seeing prior to his injuries. And I think Trisha mentioned like this, even Wemby and the Spurs, they get up against some of the better teams in the Western Conference here. So catching 4.5 here at home, I can't lay this many points with the Warriors without Steph Curry, their best player. Like it's always a question mark without Curry for this team on who's actually going to step up and score points to them, right? Kuminga had the night on Saturday for the Warriors, but after that, like you're kind of wondering, okay, is Klay Thompson going to show up for this game? Is it going to be Jonathan Kuminga again? I'm not sure. I do like the blocks call that you guys mentioned for Wemby. I also like his rebounds in this game, man. Again, Kevon Looney has kind of played himself maybe not out of the rotation, but with the changes that Steve Kerr has made, inserting Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody and Pods into that starting lineup. He's been rotating those 3 guys. So I think it's an opportunity for Wemby to get in there, coming off of the extended rest, playing maybe significant minutes here tonight. Don't be surprised if he has another monster night, whether it's blocking shots or rebounding and even scoring the basketball. But I'll go with the plus 4.5. Also do like the over in this game, man. Again, Spurs have been a profitable team towards the over. I know we've seen unders really coming around in the second half of the season since the All-Star break, especially on Sundays. I tweeted that out. But Spurs at home this season, 16-12 towards the over. That's around 57% thus far this season. So over for me, like the Wemby's calls. And then I'll probably look at Brandon Pajemski Pods to go over his PRA again. I gave it out on Saturday. It was at 22.5. He finished with 21, got pulled late in those final minutes there where if one more basket would have gotten him over this number, but it's at 23.5. I think he comes out and plays a lot better because he can rebound, he can get assists. We know he can score as well. So I'm on those couple plays here for the Spurs and Warriors game.
You can actually find a 22.5 out there as well.
There we go.
Check.
Even better.
Shop around.
Well, I think that my constituents know that I'm backing the Spurs, of course, and it's only right because we just went live. I was sitting here refreshing like a million times because it wouldn't update my location, but now it's updated. I'm able to place a bet, and of course, I have to place my first bet on Devin Vassell.
Love that.
First bet on Devin Vassell. Had to. Come on, Munaf. Would it be me? Would it be me if I didn't place my first bet on Devin Vassell, Mr. Cover? I'm gonna cover my points prop when you need me to. Of course.
Yo, his PRA also, his PRA is 30.5, and he's hit that 5 games in a row. 44, 33, 31, 40, and 33.
Look at here. I try to tell people, man, get Devin Vassell some help in there in San Antonio so that he can elevate his game to the playoffs. That's all I ask. Get Devin Vassell some help. They got him Wemby. Now they need to get him some more help.
Keldon Johnson also balled in that game last time out too. So he's probably not going to get as much usage as he did last game because Devin Vassell's that guy. Also, real quick, I know I have to go, and you guys probably have another guess. Do you think Trae Young is that player that takes them that help that for Devin Vassell, that help for Wemby, or do you think that he's like not a winning player?
No, I just think if you're gonna get Trae Young, why didn't you just keep DeJounte?
Yeah,
like I think I would have just kept DeJounte if that was going to be the move. I hope that's not the move. I'd be really, really upset if it was. And I mean, I'm sure that it would work. Like, I'm sure they're going to be better because Trae Young's up there. But where I would like to see Wemby at and the type of player I think he could be and what the Spurs team could do if everything's clicking and they keep this core together and just get one more star. And then I just don't think Trae Young is going to send them to the heights that everybody would like to see. So I'm not a big Trae Young guy anymore. And that's a lot for me to say because I think I was the biggest Trae Young guy over everybody when he came out the draft.
I think he's played his last game in Atlanta if he doesn't come back this season.
Dang. That's it.
We're not letting him know. Hey
man, that's
Quinn Snyder's done. He's done. Quinn Snyder's done. I heard LA. I heard some rumors that was maybe a possibility, but
LA is a rumor for any big name free agent. LA is always the rumor. Like nobody ever wants to go to the Clippers. Only Kawhi. Kawhi and PG, the only people ever wanted to go to the Clippers. Nobody else.
And Harden.
To go to the Clippers. Oh, well, I guess I don't think Harden wanted to go to the Clippers. I think he wanted to go be with PG and Kawhi. I think LA was just a bonus, but he was really like, honestly, wherever y'all at, I'm finna be there. I just do not want to be in Philly. Oh man. All right. Trista, thank you so much for coming on. Go ahead, please plug anything you want to plug. Tell the people where they can find you, all that.
Yeah. Podcast, NBA podcast. It's not betting driven. It's just NBA news, comedy, that kind of thing. I actually had Terrell on last year. We talked about, I want to say, the NBA draft and some of those young guys that could potentially, we probably talked about Wemby, I would imagine. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it was probably a short conversation. It was probably a short conversation.
He's transcendent. Let's move on. Yeah. So yeah, Heat Check, wherever you get your podcasts. That comes out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. BetMGM tonight is on, I think, 80 stations nationwide, but find us on the Odyssey app. Yep. And it's podcasted on Spotify, Apple, all that as well. BetMGM tonight. That's on live, 7 to 11 Eastern. And then weekends, I'll do New York Sports Radio, WFAN 660. We talk, New York teams, basically Yankees bashing for about 4 hours.
Oh, we just became best friends.
Ain't that from what's that? Is that from Step Brothers?
Yeah.
We just became best friends. Noted Yankees hater here in Munaf, so he's definitely gonna love all of that. Just appreciate you again.
Gotta have you guys on our show soon.
Oh yeah, you know it always. All right.
See you guys.
Man.
Thank you.
Hey man. Winners. I'm finna get down on the Wemby bet. I got a $5 bet that I need to place to get these bonus bets. So I might do a little same game parlay with Wemby and Vassell there. Get me a nice little free cash. We know Vassell's good for it, and Wemby is a dog. All right. We got one more read to talk about. Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting and list platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research everything NFL, NBA, soccer bet with historical stats and data on Hall of Fame bets, and use that revolutionary parlay optimizer tool. Get everything broken down by hit rate and leg. I mean, it's really just a great product. Like, there's so much you can do up there. Just go. I implore you to just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Use that code SGPN to get you 50% off your first month. I'm telling you, after your first month, you're going to want to stick with it. It's a really, really good product. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Oh, man. While I built this same game parlay for the Spurs here, we got to talk about another game. Let's go ahead and talk about the Dallas Mavericks on the road, going to play the not San Antonio. I'm stuck on San Antonio. The Chicago Bulls. Dallas is going to play Chicago. Dallas is laying 4 on the road. 232.5 is the total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Dallas Mavericks, Derek Lively, the second, is not on the injury report. He's expected to play today. And for the Chicago Bulls, Torrey Craig, probable. Zach, Pat Williams, Lonzo, all done for the year. Munaf, laying 4 here with Dallas and that terrible defense. What you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that defense continues to be terrible. They did hold the Miami Heat to 108 points on, what was it, Thursday, when those two teams matched up, pulled away at the end, then came back and gave up 124 to the Pistons. But unfortunately for the Mavericks, they scored 142 in that game against the Detroit Pistons. I felt like these two teams had recently matched up, but I'm mistaken. I feel like there's a good spot here for the Dallas Mavericks, man. I know that, again, defensively, they've been atrocious, but I think that I know the Bulls I think this is their first game back from their road trip here, if I'm not mistaken, their West Coast road trip. So I've always talked about, how that first game back after a road trip is always a tricky one. And again, this is a weird spot here for the Chicago Bulls because they're back at home for this one game and they immediately are going to Indiana for a road game. So a tricky spot here for the Chicago Bulls. So again, with that scheduling spot here, coming off of that 4-game West Coast road trip, hosting the Dallas Mavericks, who've won 2 games in a row, I'm going to lay it here with Dallas, man. I think it's one of my favorite bets of the day, probably lock territory here. But I think, again, Luka's just playing absolutely out of his mind. It was 6 straight triple-doubles he's had in his last 6 games. So, give me the Mavericks here. I think that the Bulls, number one, like I mentioned, coming off of the road trip, I just don't think they'll be able to keep up with the scoring for the Dallas Mavericks. Right? We talk about Luka, we talk about Kyrie Irving, Tim Hardaway Jr., Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. I mean, they have guys that can knock down the 3-point shot, and Luka's just playing out of his mind right now. He's averaging 37.6 points per game over his last 5 games. So I think it's going to be a very, very difficult matchup for the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to lay it here with the Dallas Mavericks.
I mean, the chat is just saying everything I wanted to say. I don't even know why I have to be on the show today. I'm really just about to sit here and just fire away bets as everybody just talks for the next 30 minutes before we end the show because, man, tomorrow saying it, Dallas 13-3 ATS is road faves. That's a spot you want to back them as a road favorite, not as a home favorite. And so, he's giving his best Casey impression there. Casey also coming through with the stat. Since 2021, the Bulls are 58-28 to the over in a game when playing a team in the opposite conference. So non-conference overs are just always a good trend. And the Bulls are just one of the best teams too at 58-28 over the past few years. So definitely a good spot there. He also's got another one. Bulls overs are also 18-2 at home following a road loss versus a Western Conference since 2020. Same thing. I mean, I'm all over. You don't have to tell me to take an over with Dallas. Like, you don't have to give me a trend for that, Casey. Honestly, how this team plays defense, I'll back a Dallas over, Dallas team total over. I like over for the game. Slightly nervous for Chicago because, again, this is a rough spot. Like, coming back home from one game, then going back on the road. I mean, hopefully they get up for this game and at least continue the scoring. Dallas makes it easy for them, but it's a really tough spot for them. I couldn't get to the window on the Bulls any other way. So, I like Dallas here. I think Dallas gets it done -4 on the road here. I like the over as well. Luka all day. I think Luka have a really good game. Is this the Andre Drummond, Vucevic whole bunch of rebound game again? Like, is this what this is?
I don't think so. I think that when Andre Drummond had started, it was those 2 games against Cleveland because I think they were trying to combat at the time when Evan Mobley and both Jared Allen were starting, right? Evan Mobley, I know, is out with the injury. I think that's what it was. I wouldn't hate an Andre Drummond rebounding prop in this game, but again, now that they added Daniel Gafford to this lineup, or to this team, I should say, to kind of give him that, depth at that center position that they've needed for over the past several seasons, I'm not sure if he does start in this game. I think Vucevic is in line to have a pretty good game here as well. But again, if he is, wait for the starting lineups when they do get in that. If you do see Drummond in the starting lineup, go ahead and ladder his rebounds up because we know what he's done when he gets the minutes and he's starting for the Chicago Bulls team here. I'll add this one more note here on the overs that Casey mentioned. Non-conference home games, 14 of the last 15 for the Bulls have gone over the total.
Yeah. That's a system. There we go. Let's add over 232.5 to the betting card for today. And guess what? I don't have to wait and send it to somebody. I can just play it right now. I can just play it right now. We're lit. Hey, it's going on. We have legalized sports betting. Another state is on than North Carolina. And North Carolina might be the only state this year, Munaf. So we got to hold it down. We're going to be good over here. Shouts out to I keep referring to North Carolina in the we like I'm not from Virginia. But hey, man, I've been in North Carolina since college. I don't care, bro. North Carolina's my state too. All right, Munaf. Next game on the slate. Phoenix Suns. We talked about a prop. We didn't really talk about the game. Phoenix Suns laying 6.5 versus Cleveland Cavaliers. At Cleveland, 220.5 is the total. Cavs lost to the Nets yesterday. That didn't have anything to do with anything right now, but I just wanted to mention that the Cavs lost to the Nets yesterday. So for the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker is probable to return to the lineup after missing 4 games with that ankle injury. No Eric Gordon, no Josh Okogie, no Nazir Little. And for the Cavs, Max Strus didn't play in that game. Dean Wade, I don't think played in that game either. No Evan Mobley, no Donovan Mitchell, no Tristan Thompson for whatever it's worth. So here we are. I mean, is it as easy as we just lay the points with? Like, is this chalk? We just go chalk here.
Yeah. Again, you mentioned the injury report, right? For the Cavs. I think that Donovan Mitchell has already said he's going to be, or the report came out, he's already ruled out for this game. Let me just double check before I have to eat. Yeah, he says unlikely to play on Monday. So, Cavs on back-to-back situations this season, Terrell, 4-7 straight up, 3-7-1 against the spread. And now you're missing all these guys as far as depth goes and your superstar player. I think it's a tough spot here for the Cavs. The Suns have the rest advantage. You're getting Devin Booker back. Maybe on who knows, and maybe on a minutes restriction or limited minutes here, but you still have Bradley Beal, you still have Kevin Durant. This team is relatively healthy, are the Phoenix Suns here. So I think they continue rolling here against a team that just hasn't, obviously been the same in the last couple of games because of all the injuries. So now back-to-back situation, possibly and more than likely no Donovan Mitchell. I think we got to lay it here. -6, -6.5. Definitely shop around, get the best number here.
All right. And it's like, the degenerate in me tells me to blindly take the Cavs here at +6.5, but
yeah,
they just lost to the Nets, man.
That's telling.
And I mean, granted, when's the last time? But it's just the injuries, like it. And if they lost to the Nets and they were completely healthy, I would it's a one-off. It happened. It is what it is. But for the injuries to be this much, that might have really played a factor. And they've been off and on for about the past week or so with these injuries. They win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. I guess we really should be on the Cavs because they're about due to win a game with that logic. But nah, I think I'm going chalk here. Devin Booker's returning. His Suns team's been playing a lot better ball, and they really needed a win. They really could use a win after playing that Boston team and losing Boston like that. So, yeah, I think I'll play the drop. All right. Next game on the slate, Munaf. Toronto Raptors on the road going to play the Denver Nuggets. Toronto ain't laying a damn thing. Hey, my fault. Toronto ain't laying shit right now. All right. That mimosa might have hit me too hard. Denver Nuggets laying 14.5 here. Open up at 13.5. 231.5 is the total injury report for these two teams that we have for the Toronto Raptors. RJ Barrett is questionable. Bruce Brown is questionable to return. He's been out for, 3 or 4 games now, something like that. Mm-hmm. Chris Boucher is questionable. DJ Carton is out. Scotty Barnes out. Jakob Poeltl's out. And for the Denver Nuggets, clean injury report. So, Munaf. In the past, Toronto's kind of given Denver fits. in the past, they've gotten a couple wins, even a win on the road. Like, they've given Denver some fits sometimes, but this time there's no OG, no Pascal. This is a brand new team. What do you like here laying the big number with the Nuggets?
I'm laying it here, man. God, this Raptors team, their defense has been so bad. Like, I can see a spot here where the Nuggets just come out and put up 130 plus points, and they limit the Toronto Raptors to like 100, 105. I think that this is easy pickings here for the Denver Nuggets here. I mean, just take a look. Their last 6 games, they gave up 136 to the Mavericks, 120 to the Warriors, 111 to the Charlotte Hornets. They gave up 139 to the Pelicans, 120 to the Suns, 128 to the Portland Trailblazers, and now you're going up against the Denver Nuggets and Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. Their hands are going to be full in this game. I think this is a matchup nightmare for the Toronto Raptors in this game. So if you're not comfortable laying the points here at 14.5, I think the team total trifecta in this game is very likely. If you go first quarter team total over, first half team total over, or full game of team total over for the Denver Nuggets. I mentioned, I'm trying to find the numbers in front of me here. Over the last 5 games for the Toronto Raptors, their defensive rating, they are the 4th worst. They're behind the Jazz, the Mavericks, the Bulls, and then it's the Raptors here. And they have a net rating of minus 13.1. So it's a lot of points, but I just think the Denver Nuggets just come out and take care of business in this game. But I do really love the Nuggets team total to go over in this game. Let me find that number here, Terrell, while you give your handicap.
Yeah, I mean, the Nuggets are playing good ball right now. They won 4 of the last 5. They lost to the Suns, but then you go and you get a win against Boston, number 1 team in the league. You beat Utah by 20, and they always seem to give you fits, covering the 12.5 there. I'm with this Denver team to cover the number. I normally don't lay, 14.5 with anybody except yesterday when I laid 15 with. First of all, the 15 that they let me get with the Thunder was so sweet. So sweet. I feel like I was sitting there and some injury news that came out, and I was like, dang, they missing all them people? Thunder should win by like 30. Sure enough, they did. I think this is the same script. Denver wins by like 30. It's not even close. I agree with your team total angle of Denver is just kind of running away with this game and running away with the score. And this is just Denver playing really, really good ball and good fortune, and they just handle another really weak opponent. So I don't think this is the game that they slip up and fold in, especially with all the injuries and not knowing who's ready to go, who's healthy for Toronto. I'm with you. I say lay the number with Denver. I didn't know that we'd be playing this drop twice today, but sure enough, we are. All right. I'm with you on the over, with you on Denver team total over, ladder, escalators. However,
123.5 is the number on that team total.
Yeah, you can definitely play that. Player props. I mean, there's blowout potential here.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Is there anybody on Toronto that I'm willing to get behind?
Is it Emmanuel Quickly? Is it Gary Trent Jr.? Trying to see how Nikola Jokic has done against the Raptors.
I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in anybody from Toronto. Maybe. I mean, not even a rebound spread. Jokic should have like 15 rebounds in 3 quarters.
I was looking at his points prop, but I mean, even then, he, like you mentioned, like blowout potential. It's at 26.5. He's been right around this number against Toronto over the last 5 games, 28, 26, 17, 28. And then he did have 31 points and 15 rebounds back on December 20th against the Raptors in Toronto. But I mean, like you mentioned, it's a potential blowout in this game. And I'm trying to find the schedule for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they don't play again. This is their last game at home before they go to on a road trip to Miami starting Wednesday. So, yeah, I don't think I have any player props in this game.
Eric talking about he needs to figure out an angle on the team so the overs, they're reliable. Yeah, man. Where's Ron? Ron didn't even come back. Hey, Ron came in here, said yeet Didn't even come hop on the show for a minute. Didn't do nothing. Ron. Boo, boo.
I messaged him.
Ron.
He said he had just woke up and he hadn't have anything ready yet. So
boo.
it's okay.
Boo. Well, Ron be on the team total overs. That was the whole point that I had to say, that Ron be on the team total overs. All right. Let's talk about the last game on the slate. Do you believe in poetic justice? You're telling me on the date that my state goes live, I get Boston laying 9.5 on the road? Now, granted, it is against the Trailblazers, so that doesn't inspire any confidence at all. But it opened up at like 13.5 and it's down to 9.5. 217 is the total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum is questionable with an ankle injury. Jaylen Brown's questionable for the pelvis injury. Drew Holiday's questionable with the knee injury. Derek White's questionable with the hand injury. They already said Kristaps Porzingis is out. And for the Trailblazers, Grant is questionable. You got Jabari Walker's out. No Malcolm Brogdon. No Shady and Sharp. Hey, man. I'm about to put the bet in now. Portland's somehow, some way, Portland's covering 9.5 today. They're gonna
5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games.
Boston's gonna sit at least 2, maybe 3 of those starters.
We're sure that Porzingis is already out, right?
Porzingis is already out, so that's 1. And it's 4 of the 4 left. I think we lose 2. I think we lose Drew Holiday, and then we lose. Yeah, that's it. It's one of either Derek White and Drew Holiday, and then it's one of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. So here's you tell me I only get 2 out of 5? Yeah.
So here's a question for you. Do you want to fade the Celtics tonight, or do you want to fade them tomorrow in Utah? Or you want to do both?
Oh, well, for sure I'm going to do both. Like, especially if I win tonight. If I win tonight, I'm just going to immediately roll it over to tomorrow.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got to fade them tonight. Come on. The whole starting 5 is on the injury report today. If there's ever a day, and it's against Portland, they did it because it's against Portland, because they feel like, hey, even our backups can play Portland. Even our backups can handle Portland. That's where Portland's going to get them. Portland's going to cover this game. Portland plus 9.5. But you guys already knew I was on that play. What do you like, Munaf?
Yeah, I mean, like what you mentioned with like injury report, right? And again, they play in Utah tomorrow night, so wouldn't be surprised if we do see already. Wait, we said Porzingis already out, so maybe one of Tatum or Jaylen Brown ends up sitting in this game because they do have a game tomorrow in Utah. But like I mentioned, the Portland Trailblazers just 5-1 against the spread of their last 6 games. The offense has looked really good too, man. They put up 122 against the Grizzlies, 107. Okay, but they beat or they covered against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They put up 114 in that game, 120 against the Thunder, 107 in that game against the Rockets. That was their only loss, only game that they didn't cover their last 6 games. They bounced back nicely against the Raptors. They did go into overtime, but they put up 128 in that game. So I think for the Celtics in this game is probably like you mentioned, right? We probably want to win this game. It's not going to be by margin. We have a game tomorrow night in Utah. Celtics. It's a back-to-back situation, so maybe Joe Mazzulla wants to manage the minutes for some of these stars, or have guys sitting here. So good spot here, I think, for the Blazers. Celtics, like you've mentioned multiple times, obviously throughout the season, they haven't been very good on the road this season. I'm trying to pull up their ATS numbers here exactly for the Celtics on the road, but they are 20-11 straight up. They do win games, but they're not covering 13, 15, and 3 against the spread. So give me the Blazers here plus the 9.5.
Hey, Ryan Garcia, you are my guy. Ryan Garcia knows the energy. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything in the chat for those that are on the podcast version and not at youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. He didn't say anything but blatant. That's it. That's the word. That's it. Didn't say nothing else. Just said blatant. Because he knows that it's the Boston, it's the blatant revenge game today. It's the blatant revenge.
He's been playing well
today.
too.
Yo, he's been playing so good. So it's like, how can I not play it? How do I not play it today? That's enough. I can't fire off bets quick enough. I gotta listen to Chris and I gotta slow my pace down. But I can't fire off bets quick enough because Blanton's been playing really, really well while these players have been out. And so Look at what he's doing the past couple of games. 25 and OT against the Raptors. He had 30 the game before that versus the Rockets. Like, he's been hooping, man. He's getting the attempts. You look at the attempts. He had 16 attempts that game, 27, 13, 20. Like, those are the past 4 games. He's getting the attempts. He's getting the shot quality. He's going over in PRA. He's getting the assists, getting the rebounds. He's doing it all. So, yeah, Blanton, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for making sure I didn't forget that.
Yeah, maybe ladder is 3s once it's posted.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. Where are we at? Slight lean to the under. Game, right? Any lean on the total? Any other play props? Anything? Blanton really just took it over for me. I'm playing Blanton today.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, no player props. I'll lean towards the over. I think Blazers offense has been playing well. We know Celtics can get their points here as well. I feel like this number is just slight mid conservative. So I'll lean towards the over. Nothing official there, but we'll be on the Blazers with you plus 9.5.
Shout out to Jake for the block and steal parlay. Everybody drop some plays, parlays, whatever you got that's ready to go. Just drop it in the chat before we get out of here. I need some plays today. Yeah, now I'm asking y'all for advice. I got sports betting in my state. I'm asking y'all for advice now. All right, block and steal parlay. Aaron Gordon over 1.5 blocks and steals. CP3 over 1.5 blocks and steals. And Alex Caruso over 2.5 blocks and steals. 5-1 by Jake. 5-1 payout there. Absolutely. Gonna get.
You know what we're doing, Terrell? You know what? Everybody drop your parlays, and whoever wins a parlay with the longest odds, we'll hook them up with like a gift card or something.
Okay. All right, look at that. Hey, Munaf got more pull in the company than me to just be making a contest on the fly like that. He got way more pull than me. Yes, 100%. Let's do it. Let's do it. Go ahead. You have until we end the show, which isn't much time. So you better go ahead, put something together, put it in there. Jake just kind of got ahead of y'all. Sorry, but it happens.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. While they doing that, let's lock in the lock and dog here.
All right.
For my lock on this slate, I really think that's a horrible spot for the Bulls. I think it's Dallas. Yeah, I think it's Dallas.
Yeah.
But if Dallas, they might give up the points, but it's really a bad spot. I'll take the total. I won't even take Dallas. I'll take the total. I'll leave Dallas out of it because I do I don't like Dallas's defense. Like I really find it tough to take Dallas with how bad their defense is, even though this is a great spot for them. But this could be an opportunity where they just run the score up, and it's kind of similar to that Nuggets and Jazz game over the weekend that had a 141-121 final score, where it's like, yeah, you still covered the line and gave up all these points, so the over is good. So give me the Dallas Bulls over 232.5 at -110. I will take that bet for sure. That's my lock. For my dog, sports betting just went live in North Carolina. Give me the Trailblazers plus 330 on the money line. When in doubt, fade Boston. Fade Boston. It'd be so Boston for them to sit everybody and lose a game to the Trailblazers. Blanton revenge game. Simons could get it going. You got Grant potentially coming back. This thing could be all right. Give me the Trailblazers to get it done. Plus 330 on the money line. That's my dog. Munaf, what are you doing?
All right, so let's go. I'm going to fade the Raptors defense, man. Give me the team total over for the Nuggets here tonight, over 123.5. You mentioned fourth worst rated defense over the last 5 games are the Toronto Raptors. I think this is a matchup nightmare for the for the Toronto Raptors going up against the Denver Nuggets here. So I will take the team total over 123.5. And they're still giving us plus 130 on Luka to record a triple-double. He's done it in 6 straight games. I think that's an NBA record, if I'm not mistaken. But plus 170 for him to record a triple-double again here tonight against against the Chicago Bulls. I'll take that to the bank. So I'll take Luka triple-double plus 170 as my dog here for tonight.
All right. Let's see. We got a whole bunch of parlays coming through the chat. You got to go to youtube.com/NBA Game.
And make sure you guys are putting the odds in there because I don't have time to go back and
Munaf said, I'm not going back and adding that together to figure out what your odds
make sure
were.
you put your odds in. Put your bet in, and then put your parlay in, and make sure you put the odds in as well.
All right. Let's tap into Underdog and get an Underdog lineup going before we end the show today. It's a great day. It's a great day for all North Carolinians everywhere. Luka, you talked about Luka. Let's throw Luka in there.
All right. Luka.
You can go triple-double for the spicy, or
Yeah.
you want to go points, rebound, assist? You want to do triple-double?
Yeah, I think triple-double. It's 1.5 spicy. I like that.
1.5x spicy for Luka.
You probably won't have Blayton up yet. That was probably a good one to put in, but
yeah, I don't think he's got it.
Wait for the injury report. You want to throw in Grayson Allen's threes?
Oh yeah, I like that play.
Chris
Shout out to Chris. Yeah, shout out to Chris. Let's throw that in there. Grayson Allen threes. 2.5 3-pointers made higher. And shoot, while we're following the guests, where's Tristan? Let's see if the Wemby blocks play.
It's at 4.
Dang, that's 4 blocks for that is crazy.
And it steals at 1.5, but then they're kind of jumping us because the 5.5 blocks and steals the higher's at 0.85, so it'll lower our odds.
Yeah, no. I kind of like the 4 though. Should we still take the 4? Should we still take the 4? The 4 is a lot. I thought it was at 3.5 at least. So if we get 4, we don't push. But we get 4, we push. Let's see.
I mean, he's had at least 4 blocks in the last 5 games he's played. At least 5 blocks in 4 of the last 5.
Maybe I shouldn't be afraid because Wemby's just a generational talent, and we should stop being afraid of the number because he's going to hit it. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We talked about it. We liked it earlier. Why would we not like it now? So Victor Wembanyama, higher 4 blocks. Grayson Allen, higher 2.5 3-pointers made. And Luka Doncic, higher half a triple-double. 9x. 9x is the payout for that. $100 gets you $900 on that Underdog lineup. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN at Underdog Fantasy. NBA SGPN. That's going to double your first deposit up to $100. All right. Shout out to everybody dropping parlays in. If you're still working, that's fine. Munaf is going to be here. Munaf is going to be here to take down your parlays so we can get you in the contest. So go ahead, take them down, add them to the comment section underneath the stream, or do all of that. Like Munaf got you. So I'm having a great time. I'm about to go fire off some bets, and I'm about to live life in a new betting state. Munaf, you should come. You should really, really just pack the wife and kid up and just come on down to North Carolina. I'm trying to tell you, great state, North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be one of the last states here to get legalized, so we may have to be on the move.
Yeah, should consider it. Should consider. All right, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, man. North Carolina, if you're in there, make sure again, like Chris mentioned, be responsible, but have fun with it. It's. I don't think we would have sat here maybe 10 years ago thinking states would start getting legalized in sports betting, but here we are. North Carolina gets launched, so congrats to you. I know NC Nick's in
10
North
years
Carolina
ago, I was in high school.
well. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, man, great day to be alive. Hopefully we found some more winners. We back tomorrow, same place, we at same time again tomorrow. I know today we pushed back a little bit, because we're having a fun party here, but we'll be back tomorrow, 11:05 Eastern, myself and Scott.
All right, y'all heard it. He's at SportsNerd824. I'm at @reallyreal__. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at NBA SGPN. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at NBA Gambling Podcast, youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Use that Underdog code NBA SGPN. And I mean, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the guests that showed up. Thank you for all the listeners. Go out and win a bet today. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way. Who is this that said Celtics money line to end my part? Is that Casey? All right, man. All right. Hey, man, who was it the Celtics just lost to the other day? And I was like, dang, they definitely killed people parlays with that one. What was it? What game was it? I can't remember. What game was it that they lost the other day? And I was like, oh, they killed. It was the one against Cleveland. It was the Dean Wade game. How could I forget? The Dean Wade game. Yeah, definitely killed.
Dean Wade is out tonight.
But shout out to the Celtics -440 on the money line. I guess they should get it done right. I guess. Nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna like this. North Carolina. Raise up. We out of here.